That better? Yeah, great. Good morning again, and welcome to the Universalist Church, in which love is the spirit. We're glad you're here in the sanctuary or anywhere in the world, especially those visiting or returning after a time away. I'm Joe Wilson, one of the members of your Board of Trustees. If you are a visitor, we hope you'll talk with our welcome team or visit our webpage, www.westhartforduu.org, to learn more about us. Our guest book or online contact page will help you get onto our electronic mailing list. Our electronic communications are the best way for us to stay connected. We look forward to helping you become part of the Universalist Church. We're still dealing with the pandemic, though the risk of severe illness is considered low. If you're unvaccinated or would prefer a mask, our ushers have some that we're happy to share. After worship, we'll have fellowship in Fisk Hall and through Zoom. Today, we will be celebrating and honoring all our volunteers, so please plan on joining us. I have it on good authority there'll be stuff to eat. If you need help finding your way to Fisk Hall for our fellowship hour, any member of the church will be happy to guide you. Just look for someone wearing a Universalist Church name tag, or you can follow the herd. You can find the link for Zoom in our weekly news or our Breeze calendar. If you aren't getting the weekly news, please sign up for it on our website. And now, I invite you to take a moment to make your mobile phone silent, turn off your email, put away those keyboards, and settle in for worship.
Welcome to all present here and all those joining us through cyberspace. As we light our chalice here in the sanctuary, please join us with your home chalice or your home candles for whatever light you choose to bring into the world at this point. And this is stuck. I tell you, lighting chalices here lately has been a challenge. Okay. So, always have your box of kitchen matches available. As we light our chalice this Music Sunday, we recognize all those who enliven our lives because of their desire to share the power of prayerful music, sound, and rhythm with us. And Olivier Messiaen has done so too. On this second Sunday of Advent, we also honor all those who are prophetic among us, calling us to be all we can be in every moment of our days. And finally, we share this fourth day of Hanukkah, and as we light these 4 candles, we call to mind all those who are in spaces who are lighting these candles this day to celebrate their Hanukkah. The first Sunday and today's Sunday. May we ask, as these candles burn brightly, that peace and understanding replace the violence and death in the East this day. Our opening hymn is hymn 226 in the gray hymnal. Please rise in body or in spirit in this sanctuary or wherever you are as we sing together, People Look East. Please join me now in speaking the words of our affirmation, our covenant, as printed in the order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please be seated. Our Time for All Ages story today is taken from a book called I Wish You More by Amy Krauss Rosenthal and Tom Lichtenheld. Some books are about a single wish. Some books are about 3 wishes. This book is about endless good wishes. And it is a perfect book for this season of waiting and appreciating that how in that waiting we wish for one another all good things. And so, I wish you more ups than downs. I wish you more give than take. I wish you more tippity toes. And I don't really need to do this because I already have heels on. Then deep. I wish you more we than me. I wish you more hugs than Uggs. I wish you more woo-hoo than whoa. I wish you more will than hill. I wish you more can than not. I wish you more snowflakes on your tongue. I wish you more pause than fast forward. I wish you more umbrella than rain. I wish you more bubbles than bath. I wish you more treasures than pockets. I wish you more stories than stars. I wish all of this for every single one of you because you are everything I could wish for and much, much, much more. And that is our song, Time for All Ages. So let us sing our children out with the song, Go Now in Peace. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, The voluntary offering, the sharing of our resources for our shared work as a religious community, is a spiritual practice for us. By offering our time, talent, and treasure to this community, you help us serve the members, friends, and wider community of this congregation. As part of that service, we share our general offering each week with organizations that do the work in the world that brings us ever closer to becoming the beloved community we aim to be. This month, we share our offering with the Prudence Crandall Center. Founded in 1973, the Prudence Crandall Center is dedicated to helping individuals achieve lives free of domestic violence by providing care, advocacy, support, and education. They are skilled, well-resourced, and compassionate providers of comprehensive high-impact services to women, men, and children, and service 9 Connecticut towns, including Berlin, Bristol, Burlington, Kensington, New Britain, Plainville, Plymouth, Southington, and Terryville. Originally founded as the Prudence Crandall Center for Women, they are one of the few programs in the U.S. offering a unique combination of shelter, housing, and support services to address the long-term needs of victims. The agency strives to end domestic violence through its dedication to working with people who have experienced domestic violence on their behalf and in their memory. To give electronically, please use the QR codes on your order of service, the links in the description if you are online, or those on our website to make your donation to our offering. Here in the sanctuary, our offering will now be gratefully received. Please join in singing the doxology. Feel free to rise if you are willing and able. Please be seated. As we gather in these moments of prayer and petition, let us remember Kathleen R. as she copes with the loss of the use of her home after her house fire. I remind you that the GoFundMe link to assist Kathleen is in your e-news, which you received Friday afternoon. And you can also contribute by placing a marked envelope in our Sunday offering this week, next week, the following week. Just make sure that you indicate that you're giving the donation for Kathleen. Or if you don't want to put it in the offertory, you can give it to Amanda or Kevin in our office at any time. I heard from Kathleen yesterday, by the way, and she has found temporary housing in Newington and is very, very grateful. So she has a place to be for the next 6 to 12 months. I've been asked by Judy B. to remind folks of the celebration of her husband Tony's life, which will be next Sunday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All are welcome to come. Let us also hold in our hearts all those who need our support through the holidays due to memories or reminders of losses at this time of year. Folks will be missing from around gathered tables, living rooms, dining rooms, and kitchens. And those not present with us is simply hard to hold. Let us continue to also call upon the Spirit of love to comfort all those caught in the tensions of wars that are spread over our globe. May the peace that only the Spirit of love and reconciliation can bring be present through this season. And as we share our silence, let us allow these spoken requests, as well as those within each of our hearts, to be held in loving kindness. May all our petitions and those that are deep within be blessed as this week continues. Amen.
Our first reading is from the Prophets by Rabbi Abraham Heschel. Prophets do not offer reflections about ideas in general. Their words are onslaughts, scuttling illusions of false security, challenging evasions, calling faith to account, questioning prudence and impartiality. Reflections about the prophets gives way to communion with the prophets. Pure reflection may be sufficient for the clarification of what the prophet's consciousness asserts, but not for what his existence involves. For prophets to be alive and present to us, we must think, not about, but in the prophets, with their concern in their heart. Unless their concern strikes us, pains us, exalts us, we do not really sense it. Such involvement requires accord, receptivity, hearing, and sheer surrender to their impact. Prophecy is not simply the application of timeless standards to particular human situations, but rather an interpretation of a particular moment in history, a divine understanding of a human situation. Prophecy, then, may be described as exegesis of existence from a divine perspective. Understanding prophecy is an understanding of an understanding rather than an understanding of knowledge. Prophecy is a way of thinking as well as a way of living. The prophet was an individual who said no to his society, condemning its habits and assumptions, its complacency, waywardness, and syncretism. He was often compelled to proclaim the very opposite of what his heart expected. The prophets endure and can only be ignored at the risk of our own despair. The prophet's theme is, first of all, the very life of a whole people, and his identification lasts more than a moment. He is one not only with what he says, he is involved with his people in what his words foreshadow. Is your God big enough to be questioned? The freedom to question is an indispensable and sacred practice that is absolutely vital to the health of our communities. According to author David Dark, when religion won't tolerate questions, objections, or differences of opinion, and when it only brings to the table threats of excommunication, violence, and hellfire, it obstructs our ability to think, empathize, and live lives of authenticity and genuine engagement. Our second reading, then, is from a book entitled The Sacredness of Questioning Everything by David Dark. I believe deliverance begins with questions. It begins with people who love questions, people who live with questions and by questions, people who feel a deep joy when good questions are asked. When we meet these people, some living, some through history and art, things begin to change. Something is let loose when we're exposed to the liveliness of holding everything up to the light of good questions, what I call sacred questioning. We discover that redemption is creeping into the way we think, believe, and see the world. This redeeming, revaluing of what we've made of our lives, a redemption that perhaps begins with the insertion of a question mark beside whatever feels final and absolute and beyond questioning, gives our souls a bit of elbow room, a space in which to breathe and imagine again as if for the first time. The call to worship is to complete candor and radical questioning, questioning the way things are, the way we are, and the way things ought to be. The summons to sacred questioning, like the call to honesty, like the call to prayer, is a call to be true and to let the chips fall where they may. This call to worship is deeper than the call to sign off on a checklist of particular tenets or particular beliefs. It is also more difficult. Another world, a world of hope and love, can exist among us. Maybe God isn't against such a world. Maybe God is for it, behind it, and within it in ways we have yet to understand.
Today we celebrate much as a church community. The fourth day of Hanukkah, continuing to bring light into darkness. The second Sunday of Advent, dedicated in some traditions to the theme of prophecy and understanding and questioning. The acknowledgement and celebration of our many volunteers here who share so much of themselves, their time, their talent, and their gifts. And finally, this Sunday, the wonders of the music of Olivier Messiaen. All these, like so much in our lives, are interconnected and intertwined. In a marvelous book titled The Sound of Hope, Music as Solace, Resistance, and Salvation During the Holocaust and World War II, written by Kelly D. Brown, who is the head musician at Milligan University, this reflection rests in her introduction. The belief in music's incomparable ability to touch and resonate with the human spirit traces back to ancient civilization through storytelling and philosophical musings. In the Old Testament, David, a young boy and the future king of Israel, played the harp to soothe the troubled moods of King Saul. The Greeks devoted much time to studying and writing about music, from Pythagoras' discoveries of acoustical properties to Plato's views on the importance of music in education and development of quality citizens and leaders. Greek philosophers clung devoutly to the conviction that music intertwined with human ethos or emotion mattered. In more recent years, many of the great writers and minds of the 19th and 20th centuries have ruminated on the profound and impactful nature of music. Victor Hugo wrote, "Music expresses that which cannot be said, and on which it is impossible to be silent." For English author Aldous Huxley, music ranked second only to silence. He noted, "After silence, that which comes nearest to expressing the inexpressible is music." Even the often cranky philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "Music unites all qualities. It can exalt us, divert us, cheer us up, or break the hardest of hearts." Dr. Oliver Sacks, the revered neurologist, captured perhaps the most candid yet elusive description. Music, uniquely among the arts, is both completely abstract and profoundly emotional. It has the power to represent anything particular or external, but it has a unique power to express inner states or feelings. While the evidence of music's impact on the human condition renders little doubt, identifying the source or nature of this power remains the more salient and mysterious inquiry. At the most fundamental level, music's influence seems related to its fleeting temporal quality, as it only exists in a given moment and not truly in a permanent physical form. But regardless of its ephemeral nature, music seems ever present across geological, geographical, and cultural boundaries, whenever emotions such as joy or despair need a voice. Music succeeds when words fail, as you heard in several pieces this morning, especially Pourquoi. Today, we have been blessed with the prophetic music of Olivier Messiaen. Messiaen explored a comprehensive body of study during his lifetime. It included piano, harmony, music history, even percussion, birds, and organ. He took organ lessons from Marcel Dupré. Messiaen was a zealously devout Catholic as well. He was attracted to the mystical aspects of that faith tradition. Messiaen's musical work has been described by many music critics of his day as, quote, the composer whose work represented spiritual themes and the quest for a connection with God more than any composer since the Renaissance. Thus, I will note Messiaen's prophetic voice through his music. A voice that, as our second reading noted, calls those in worship to complete candor and radical questioning. Questioning the way things are, the way we are, and the way things ought to be. What a time to be questioning. Yes. Messiaen experienced both the harshness of the Nazi POW compounds and the privileges of being a renowned musical talent and composer, whom even the music-loving Germans of his time used as a commodity to be protected and possibly exploited for propaganda purposes. Messiaen found himself in Stalag 8, housed with large numbers of Jewish Czech artists, musicians, actors, and writers. And because of their shared talents, Messiaen helped organize them so that they worked at creating a center for sharing all those talents and designing a living situation in that compound that allowed cultural events to make life living less intolerable. Messiaen used his questioning, curiosity, and musical desires to work consistently during that time on his Quatuor pour la fin du temps, his quartet for the end of time. It has been commented that such a complex and profound work as the quartet found its genesis in the miserable and dehumanizing environment of a POW camp, certainly demonstrating not only Messiaen's genius, but his resilience and his spirit. Therefore, in examining music, prophecy, and questioning in our daily lives, every single one of us sitting here today can acknowledge that intertwining that happens when we come together in worship and in celebration and in just living our lives. Today is surely a time to know and understand that each one of us possesses the ability to be a light in the darkness, to be a prophet in our own spheres of influence, and to be the one who says no to the complacency of our society by continuing to live life to its fullest each and every day. We are called to live our lives knowing that it is lived in more than just this moment, but lived in moments of sacred questioning and summoned in those moments by profound music to live rhythmically, musically, and more. May it be so. Please join me now in singing our closing hymn, Blessed Spirit of Life, number 86 in the gray hymnal. together our unison benediction. Engage with the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no person evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all beings. Please remain seated for our postlude. Please remember to join us down in Fisk Hall for our volunteer celebration.